and I'm a fairly competitive person by nature. That's just who I am because I played some sports in college and things like that. And so I've always wanted to like master my craft and hone my skill set. And that's what this allowed me to do. They have personal business training and mentorship, like I mentioned before. I was in business for myself, but I wasn't in business all by myself. And that to me was huge. I had a support system. I don't know if you come from a strong family, some people do, some people don't. But for those that come from that are very family oriented, you've got that support system of your family. That's kind of what this business became for me, was like a family, like a support system through the mentorship. And then for me, I've always wanted to be a leader, an industry leader, just a leader in general. And so they helped me develop some of my leadership skills as well. In fact, I owe almost everything I've earned and learned from this business or in life from this opportunity through the LTD support system. And it's been huge for me. Okay. And to be a part of that, it does cost about $35 a year. And to get started, it's $35 a year. And so to get your whole Amway LTD business up off the ground, I usually tell people it's somewhere around $210, $215, right in that ballpark. And so that is not something we're looking for today or tomorrow by any stretch of the imagination. We're not even offering you an opportunity to join the business team at this point. What we're going to do is just continue through the learning process. So how do I make some money? So you invest that $62 into the Amway Corporation. And what they do is they give you two websites. One is your own business website, so you can keep track of everything. You've got business reports, annual projections, keeps track of all your income, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. Plus, I can do all my ordering and purchasing for myself and for some of my clientele on that website. But they also give you what's called a personal retail website. We call them PRWs, personal retail website. And what that is that's set up for customers and clientele and consumers. It looks just and is just as functional as any other website that you've ever been to. You go there, you click a button, right? You put something in a cart, you go to check out. Do you want to create an account? Yes or no? Boom, that's it. And so, but what it does is it tracks everything back to me because I'm the root of it. And so what it does is it all is electronically linked. It's pretty cool because Amway also offers a resource center with like PDFs and social media content that I can use. And they also, with these PDFs, offer like catalogs on that are electronic that I can send out to people all over the country. And it links them all back to my PRW, my personal retail website. And so for $62 a year, I don't have to develop anything. I don't have to be a technological genius. I don't have to be a computer person. I just have to know how to access the internet. My father-in-law, he's 72, and I love it because he types with one finger at a time. But the guy runs an online marketing business because you don't have to be technologically advanced. You just got to know which buttons to push, and that's about it. I mean, if you pass the third grade, you can run the internet basically, right? And so that's the idea. You're not building anything. You're not developing a website. It's all put together for you for that $62. Now, how do I make the money? Well, hey, there's a slide on the screen. It's a makeup tutorial slide. And so, sorry about that. And so, hang on. Oh, that is on the screen. Never mind. That's me. That's just on the screen. Sorry. I was talking to my AV guys over here. I apologize. That's on the screen. I'm like, that doesn't look like me getting my lip gloss put on my lips right now. We have two cameras, and I thought maybe they clicked to the other camera. I'm like, my God, that makes me look feminine, right? So anyways, how do I make the money? You guys are laughing now. How do I make the money? Well, there's three different ways. Number one, there's some immediate gross profit. We can sell products to customers. Number two, we have what's called a differential bonus. That's where we build a team of people and we create a slight differential based on that compensation plan, the performance bonus on the right-hand side. And I'll get into that here in just a couple minutes. But you can create income by putting together a team, and it drives you up the bonus chart when you've got enough volume products. Here's the tip. Here's what I want you to understand. We don't get paid to recruit people in any way, shape, or form. Zero, zip, zilch. But what we get paid to do is create more volume. The more volume we create, the more money we can make. The bigger the team, the more little bits a lot of people do, the easier it is to make money. And that's the whole idea. And I'll come back to that here in just a couple minutes. And then number three, and probably most importantly for me, is there's leadership bonuses. So I know, for example, like there's a gentleman on here by the name of Reed. Reed is a friend of Joe Gleason's. Joe's told me a little bit about you. Reed, I'd love to help you down the road, put together this first project I'm going to go over here in a second. And if we do that, we partner up, we help you succeed. The Amway Corporation pays Joe and I a leadership bonus. It's pretty cool. And so you get to make $40,000, $50,000 a year, and Amway pays us a couple $1,000s a year for helping you. But here's what's cool is we get paid to help develop you and help you succeed. And there's no limitation to the number of people we can help. How cool is that? It's an unlimited income opportunity. Now, it's not get rich quick, but it's unlimited. My job was very limited. It had a very specific glass ceiling. And I had to work my guts out and kind of kiss some butt. I was in the corporate world. This is what we did to get ahead, to get that 1.7% pay raise. And it frustrated me. But in this opportunity, there's no limitation. Here's the other thing. That leadership bonus, Reed, is it's willable, transferable, and inheritable 2 generations deep. There's another gal on here by the name of Laura, who's a friend of Janelle's. Laura, this business opportunity, these leadership bonuses, it is willable, transferable to your children or your children's children. So you do the work now when you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, and it can be around for you when your kids are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. How cool is that? And it can even be passed on to your grandchildren. Because the Amway Corporation has been around over 60 years, they're bigger now than they've ever been, and they're going to continue to grow. And so they're a great partnership to be in partnership with. Now, this slide here says the average IBO makes $207 a year. It's the legal stuff from the lawyers, so you don't think I'm telling you it's get rich quick. But I've already told you it's going to take work. I've already told you it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. Any legitimate reward is going to take legitimate effort. And that's basically what that says. So here's how this works. Let's say, Reed, you get started in business, right? You get yourself set up in business, May 1st, May 2nd, something like that. We can create points, right? $3 equals about 1 point. And so the bonus chart on the right-hand side at the very, very bottom starts at 100 points, which would be about $300 worth of volume going through your pipeline. Top of the bonus chart is 7,500 points. It's about $22,500. Obviously, the name of the game is to work your way up to the top of the bonus chart over a period of time. What I teach people to do is in your first 30, 60 days, I want you, Reed, to buy some products, try the products, use the products, become familiar with the products, understand the brands, understand how to market the brands, understand the value of the brands, the price points of the brand. Just take some time. Take it slow. You know, Amway and LTD offer tremendous training on the products. They offer a ton of different information. Take it slow. Learn how to buy the products and promote the products, basically. And that's what this slide says. And when we generate about $450 of volume through your business, Reed, you'll create about 150 points. When you do that, you'll create what's called a fast track cash award. You'll get some retail profit. You'll get a little bit of money from the performance bonus on the right-hand side. And all in all, you make about $131 a month. It's not bad. You make $131 a month by simply you change your buying habits, buy some products that you're buying from the local retailer, the Walmarts, the Targets, the Shopkos, the Costcos, whatever. And instead of doing that, now buy those same products, different brands, same products from your own business. And so that's all I did. My father-in-law said, Andy, you're already generating profit for these companies. Why not just move that profit into your pocket instead of theirs? So all I did, Laura, was I basically just started buying my own products online. I started buying my own shampoo, my own deodorant, my own toothpaste, my own skincare, my own whatever, and I bought it from myself instead of buying it from Sam Walton. That makes sense? And so the Amway Corporation paid me then about $131 a month. Annualize that out over 12 months. It comes out to be about $1,300, $1,400 a year. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, if you're making $50,000, $60,000, let's say you're making $60,000 a year, right? And you get a 2% pay raise, that's about $1,200 a year. Would you turn it down? I wouldn't. Would you say thank you? Of course you would. So would I. And see, what I realized was $1,400 extra on the side was very simply $1,400 more than I was already making. And if the name of the game is to make more, not less, that's what I was looking to do. Is I was trying to increase my income. You start to solidify that, couple months, you start understanding the products, you start being able to promote and sell products, and we're going to start to go out and start to network with people. One of the things that I needed a lot of help with up front was I needed help with the networking aspect. For me, I came out of an environment as a teenager and in my 20s as kind of a party kid, a goofball. I was always the life of the party, blah, blah, blah. And so some of my friends, when I reached out to them and said, hey, are you open-minded to opportunities? They were like, oh, I don't know about you, because I wasn't maybe the most stand-up guy back in the day. This was in my teenage years. And so what I realized was I didn't have a whole lot of business credibility just because I spent $62 to get myself a website. This is where the support team really came into play. My father-in-law stood with me and helped me walk through the minefield. What does that mean? If you were in the military and you had to go through a minefield, do you want to be the first guy across or the last? Right? Hopefully you say last, because you don't want to misstep, right? If you're the last guy and the guy in front of you missteps and boom, something falls off, you're not going to, it's safe to step there. You know what I mean? And so the point is, my father-in-law helped guide me through the minefield of getting my business off the ground. He was with me in the minefield of explaining things to people. He was with me in the minefield of interviewing and qualifying people. It was very, very simple. And because I had somebody with me, it took a lot of the pressure off of me as well. And I realized I didn't have to, quote unquote, get my friends. What I had to do was just find other people who thought like me. He would ask me all the time, Andy, do you know more people who think like you? Of course I did, right? We all do. We all hang out with people just like us. And if I were looking for opportunity, there had to be more. And so you helped 3 different people, 3 different couples. We helped a couple by the name of Dan and Jen. He was an electrician. She was an esthetician. We helped a guy by the name of Bob. He was an associate over at Panera Bread. We helped another guy by the name of Adam early on get started in business. And he worked at a Chase Bank and happened to be a guy I worked with at a golf course a few years before that. So it was just people, right? They were all looking for opportunities. They were all looking to buy some products. They were all looking to create a secondary income. And so in this example, in this scenario, you can qualify for a fast track bonus as well, et cetera, et cetera. But basically all in, you're going to create about a $540 a month income, right? That's some of the performance bonus, the retail profit, some of that fast track awards. Let me just slow down for a second. This is about $7,400 a year. $7,400 a year that's a lot of money. You're making 60, 70,000 maybe. $7,400 a year is a 10, 20% pay raise. 15, whatever the exact math is, you can do the math. What are the odds that you're going to get a 15% pay raise at your job? What are the odds you're going to get a 10% pay raise coming out of COVID? What are the odds that companies are going to be giving away more bonuses and incentives this year? I'm just going to be honest with you. In my humble opinion, I think the chance of pay raises and bonuses right now in the year 2020 are very, very low, very, very slim. And why not? Why not add an extra $6,000, $7,000 a year to your income? What did you do? You bought some products like shampoo, deodorant, and toothpaste from your own business instead of the local retail store? You promoted some products to maybe 5 or 10 family, friends, coworkers, people that might want to buy a couple of products of whatever they enjoy. And then you found 3 or 4 couples to do the same thing. Like, what we do is not complex. It's very simple. Now, it's not easy because you're dealing with people, and people are very emotional, and you're seeing how emotional people can be through this COVID deal, right? And so this is the example. And what you do is you start to duplicate this. Those 3 to 4 people maybe become 15 to 20 people over time. Actually, it took my wife and I somewhere around 7 months to hit what's called 4,000 points, about $12,000 a month business. Average income right here is about $1,900 a month. I was talking to my buddy Lance. Him and his wife Katie, they're actually on the webcast. They live down in the Lexington, Illinois area. And he was telling me last night that he owns 5 residential real estate rentals, and he owns a bar and grill, restaurant, pizzeria, and it also rents the space back from him because he bought the space. And he said, Andy, when I'm over 4,000 points, I make as much, if not more money from my Amway LTD business than I do with those 5 rental properties and the rent that the restaurant pays me. I'm going to say that again. I said, Lance, how much money do you have invested in that restaurant, pizzeria thing, bar and grill thing? He said about 300,000. I said, what are those 5 or 6 rental properties on the other side? He said probably about the same, another 300,000. So he's got about $600,000 laid out. He's making around couple, $200, $300, $400 a month off of each property. And he said, all in all, with 5 rental properties and a commercial lease property, he makes more money from his Amway business when he's over 4,000 points than he does from all those combined. I'm like, dude, that's it right there. See, he's creating income just like he is in the real estate world, but at a fraction of the risk and a fraction of the price. A fraction of the risk and a fraction of the investment. And see, it's that type of thinking that I've developed. And I said to Lance one day, I said, Lance, why is a guy like you successful? Your wife's in the real estate world. He's like, because this is the best thing I've ever seen long-term to create a long-term income. And so as you start to progress, you start to duplicate, you start to develop some leaders, you start to develop guys like Reed and gals like Laura. What you do is you help them put together 20, 25, 30, 40 IBO-ships, partnerships, maybe 50 people-ish. And everybody's doing a little bit. Everybody's creating $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 a month of revenue. No big deal. It's a lot of people doing a little bit. You hit the top of the bonus chart. When my wife and I did that back in July of 2009, it took us about 9 months to hit the top of the bonus chart. We had about 52 people, about 32 different partners in business with us. Each one of those business partners was creating some income and creating some volume and making some money. But what was cool is we could now take all that volume, and the way Amway looked at it was they said, hey, you've created a new pipeline of business that didn't exist. You are now extremely valuable to us. We're going to pay you at the top of the bonus chart at 25% of the revenue that you're producing, less the differential. And I'm like, cool. Our income that month, our first month at 7,500 PV, was about $3,300, right around this number here, 3,168. There's a couple on our team named Matt and Rachel. They live down in the Decatur area. Matt's an engineer. Rachel's a school teacher. They've got 3 boys right now. They just accomplished this back in September of 2019, just 7-8 months ago, whatever it was. There's a couple on our team by the name of Jacob and Areli. Jacob's a pharmaceutical sales rep. Areli works in the medical field. They accomplished this back in 2015. Great people. They got a little 2-year-old girl at home. There's a couple by the name of Sean and Sarah. Sean is he was a heavy machine operator. Sarah was a daycare teacher. They've got 2 little ones at home now. They accomplished this back in 2011. Tyler and Anna. Tyler's former military, does CAD engineering. She's a graphic designer. They're expecting their first. They accomplished this a couple years ago. There's Ryan and Julie Gorham. Ryan is a banker. Julie is a high-level mechanical engineer in the HVAC world. They've got a little one at home. They accomplished this level a number of years ago. We've got a couple by the name of Matt and Kate. Matt is he's in logistics. Kate is in the dental field. They accomplished this a few years ago. They're in all these couples, Tyler and Anna, Ryan and Julie, Matt and Kate, they're all in their late 20s, early 30s, right? There's a couple on this webcast by the name of Harold and Yvette. Harold was a high-level engineer. Yvette was a physician's assistant, a PA. She was able to walk away from her job 18 years ago. And what kept her home was the fact that they qualified 7,500 points back in 2008. And I love when my friends succeed. I love when my friends are making money. And see, I love helping. See, I think true success isn't how much you make. It's how much can you help somebody else make. And all these people are making a secondary income. That couple, Ryan and Julie, I just got a message from them about a month and a half, 2 months ago, right around Christmas time, that they just completely paid off her student loan debt from a major school called MSOE. They paid off over $70,000 in debt in the last handful of years. Tyler and Anna are positioning themselves now to have a little one. but they're basically debt free outside of the rent/mortgage that they have. They have no debt. They have no bills left. Why? They paid off over $55,000. These couples are like 30 years old, and they didn't have to cut costs, and they didn't have to skimp, and they didn't have to clip coupons. What they did was they created some income on the side. Matt and Rachel, I was just talking to Matt probably a month ago. Between his job bonus and his extra Amway income, 3,000-4,000 here and there, what's really, really cool is he just paid off the final payment of their minivan. He's working on one more of their credit cards. He was telling me he has a plan. He laid it all out. He said, Andy, literally by June, no later than July, I'll be 100% debt free at the age of 36 outside of my mortgage. I'm like, this is awesome. Because see, when there's less pressure on them financially, the better their marriage is, the better the relationships with the kids are, the better employees they are at their job, the better business owner and partners they are with us. See, I don't know what it is for you, but for Andy and Maureen, it was about finding mentors. It was about finding people that would pour into us, that would help us, to find a good coach. And this couple you see on the screen is our coaches today. They're the founders of LTD. They're a couple by the name of Larry and Pam. Great people. We just saw them this weekend. And if he were to walk through the door right now, he came to one of my son's football games this past fall. He showed up in a pair of brand new, retro Jordans and a pair of jeans and just a button down shirt, obviously a $10,000 watch and, that kind of stuff. But here's my point. He's the most down to earth, humble guy. But when he started his Amway LTD business back in 1980, 1981, he was a $6 an hour car wash manager, high school educated. His wife, Pam, there was super shy, super scared, super timid. She just shared with us this weekend a story that, man, it hit me right in the gut, how she grew up, and it was awesome. But she wasn't perfect. She was a $4 an hour car wash cashier working through a bulletproof glass window. And what's cool is, here we are 40 years later. This is their 40th anniversary this August of being in business for themselves. I don't know how much they make. It's a lot. It's in the millions. But they're just genuine people. They live on 50% of their income. And what they've taught Maureen and I, number one, is how to be humble. Number two, how to realize that there's no emergencies in the world. You got to know that you've already won. And number three, that you can buy your time back. When you've got money, you can really buy your time back. And I'm so appreciative for the friendship and relationship. Here's what I want to wrap up with. I'm basically done. I just want you to imagine 24 months from now, what your life can really be like. I want you to think about 24 months from now, you're generating $3,000, $4,000 a month. 24 months from now, you're paying off your debt, big chunks at a time. 24 months from now, you've got some extra cash flow. 24 months from now, you've got that good feeling. Maybe you're out of debt, pretty darn close to it. Maybe 24 months from now, you're able to pay your parents back for all the times that you borrowed money. That's me. Maybe you're 24 months from now, you're in a spot where you're making $4,000 a month. You can afford your wife an option to come home. Maybe 24 months from now, you got an extra $4,000 a month coming in. Maybe you can put together the wedding of your dreams if you're single. Maybe 24 months from now, you got an extra $3,000, $4,000 a month coming in. Maybe you just have that, everything's okay. 24 months from now, you're making $3,000, $4,000 a month part-time on the side. Maybe it's enough for you to come home. I don't know. I don't know what your lifestyle is. Like Tom alluded to, back in 2018, almost 2 years ago, because of what the business afforded us, the fact that we paid off our debts, the fact that we put ourselves in a position with a very long-term stable asset, I was able to walk away from the corporate world. Now, I do teach, and I really don't make any money doing that. I told my buddies how much I made. They laughed at me. They're like, "You're a missionary." I'm like, "No, I think missionaries get paid more than I do." I do it because I get to spend time with my kids. I do it because I get to pour into the youth. I get to do it because I love sports. See, I don't have to do what I love because I make money. I built a business through the Amway LTD business to make money. Now I get to pursue my passions. I want you to understand, Amway's not my passion. It's in my opinion, it's the best way to create time and money. But my passion is my family. My passion is my wife. My passion are my kids, sports, their lives, their success as I get older. I'm probably 10, 12, 14 years from being a grandpa. I'm ready to embrace that area of my life. But I want to do it with calm, with peace, with financial stability, not chaos, not working in my 50s and 60s. Just want you to imagine, what is it that brought you out tonight? Because whatever it is, it's possible. And the commitment level here, and I'm going to wrap up with this, the commitment level here is here and here and everywhere in between. There's 99 points of commitment between I got 1 minute and I got 100 hours. There's a lot of different levels. Here's how I can indicate your commitment level. What is it you want and when do you want it by? And then we can figure it out together. That's what the next meeting's about. That's what we're going to talk about when we get together in the next couple days. So Sean, if you could just throw up that last slide. Here's their marching orders. Here's your call to action. Here's the deal. Did you like what you saw and did you connect with the way we think? If so, schedule an appointment in the next day or two, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday at the latest. Ask them for what we call a downloadable DYS app to find your success. You can do some more credible research on Amway, LTD, price comparisons, partnerships, all that kind of stuff. They'll send you a couple audios that you can listen to. One's called Financial Stability in the 21st Century. That audio hit me like, bam, like a ton of bricks when I first heard it. Because the guy was going to medical school and he saw this and he said this was better. And see, as an accountant, you have a little level of prestige and, I'm kind of a big deal. And you realize you're just working for a dollar bill. What this guy was talking about was working for impact and time. And I'm like, man, I started to respect those people and the way they thought. So I'm done. God bless you. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay well, continue practicing social distancing. Hopefully we're wrapping this thing up very, very soon and we can jumpstart our economy. God bless you. God bless America. And we'll see you guys very, very soon.